Time now on Pigskin Preview to talk with the head coach of the East Texas Baptist University Tigers, Mark Sartain. Last Saturday night, Arnella Stadium, the Tigers beat Austin College 54-17. And, Coach, everything went right for the Tigers last Saturday night.
Well, not everything. It was a good night. We got things rolling fast out of the gate, and that momentum carried us into until we kind of were able to call the dogs off, so to speak. It's always good to be in that situation. But no, we've got plenty to work on. We felt like we left about 40 points on the field. Dropped three sure interceptions for touchdowns, and then didn't convert in the red zone a couple of times that we needed to. But there's plenty to work on.
54-17, the final score, most points ever scored by a Tiger team in Arnella Stadium. And you had someone on offense, your running back over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. Mark Gray on defense scooped up a fumble, ran it in for a touchdown. Your special teams runs by Kwame Spikes. You had some great performances by some of your athletes Saturday.
Oh, no doubt. We're very pleased with all 3 phases, the improvements that we made over the first week, and we're developing the type of mindset that we need in all 3 phases of the game. And we've got some playmakers that are beginning to emerge and establish themselves as go-to guys for us, and that's always encouraging.
In the game, as a head coach, when did you feel like, hey, we've got this under control?
Well, that's an apprehensive thought. You don't ever really want to think that as a head coach, but we felt like at halftime we had established dominance, we'd established control of the game, but even at that, we've been in contests before in which we were a better football team than our opposition, and found out that we can't just roll your helmet out there. You've got to play every snap. And one of the most encouraging things about our outing Saturday against Austin College was the fact that we kept our foot on the gas. Regardless of who we had on the field, we were out there playing at game speed, as if we were behind, as if the game was still in doubt, and that's what we're looking for.
Plus, it also gave opportunity to kind of clear your bench. I mean, in the fourth quarter, I don't think there was a starter on the field, correct?
Well, not unless it was necessary for us to have a unit on the field. We were reserving some of our freshmen that we had dressed. We didn't want to put them in for mop-up duty and then sacrifice a ball game for 4 or 5 mop-up snaps. So, we did have 15, 18 guys on our sideline that we didn't put in the ball game. So there might have been a starter on the field from time to time just to keep a unit sound and together. But for the most part, all of our varsity guys got more than just a few snaps, got a quarter.
Listening to Pigskin Preview, a weekly visit with the head coach of the Tigers, Mark Sartain. Let's move on to the next game, which is tomorrow night at Arnella Stadium. Kickoff at 6 p.m. Hear the game on ESPN 1450 a.m. Your first conference game, you're 1-1 in non-conference. You play Texas Lutheran University, a team that you lost to last year, 17-14. Don't want that to happen again, do you?
Well, absolutely not, and especially not the way that one occurred. We got off the bus in Seguin, and I've never seen a team more flat in my life as a coach. And we got off the bus without a kicker. Basically, Petticord had been injured in practice the week prior, and we had Cody Finch having to kick extra points. We wind up getting an extra point blocked. We wind up having to go for it in the red zone when we could have come away with points, and then we make a big special teams error that gives them a touchdown. They scored the winning touchdown on our horrendous mistake on our part, and you hate losing, but you certainly hate losing like that, and we hope to remedy those issues and put our A game on the field against them this Saturday night.
Texas Lutheran 1-1 as well as the Tigers. They have defeated Austin College by a score of 31-28, but they lost last week to Trinity 43-14. What do you expect from the Bulldogs as they come into Arnellis tomorrow night?
Well, I expect a team that is not afraid or apprehensive of anything that they're going to face. They've got that emotional edge going for them, that they have beaten us, and they beat us last year with a very, very, very young team, with many of them back this year. So they've got nothing to worry about in their minds, and they should be confident coming in that they can play with us. And the score that they had against Austin College doesn't really compare to our score, but they surged out ahead of Austin College and then let their foot off the gas, and Austin College got back in the game. And then the same thing happened to them against Trinity. Trinity converted a couple of early turnovers into big scoring plays against them Saturday and kind of dug them a hole, and they had to come scrambling back. So they've been on both ends of that so far this season, but they're still a young team, but they're a very confident team, and they play with no fear of failure. They just get out there and get after it.
Well, Coach, that's all our time on Pigskin Preview. Thank you for your time this week.
My pleasure.
Don't forget the Tigers tomorrow on ESPN 14:50 a.m. Countdown to Tiger kickoff begins at 5:40. Kickoff at 6 p.m. If you can't, we encourage you to come out to the game at Ornelas. Kickoff at 6, as I said. Thank you for listening to this segment of Pigskin Preview with the head coach of the ETV Tigers, Mark Sartain. I'm Mike Midkiff.